Hello everyone, John Davis here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a logo for your blog and your brand in the easiest possible way you can. So welcome to my channel. I'm a YouTube newbie and an aspiring digital marketer. So I've set myself a 100-day challenge where over 100 days I'm going to create 100 videos to really throw myself into this whole YouTube game and see what I can achieve. So if you could do me a favour and you could support me and give me a little kick along in the YouTube algorithm, if you could subscribe, hit the bell, give me a like and add a comment in below, that would be massively appreciated. I've got loads of stuff that I want to share with you that I've learned over the past few years. I can save you the time and heartache and I'll tell you what works, what doesn't work. I'm going to go over YouTube, Facebook groups, blogging, affiliate marketing, different ways of monetizing your own little empire. So if you could support me on my journey and give me a little like and subscribe and leave a comment, that would be hugely appreciated. Okay, cheers guys. So let's talk about logos. So when I first started blogging and I'd create various little WordPress sites for different things, different niches, different themes, I'd usually be doing it from an affiliate marketing point of view rather than just my way of expressing myself to the world. So I would pick a few core products and I would create content around that. So I'd have these little niche websites set up to promote certain products for affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is one of my main little side hustles that I do to help contribute to taking the family away on amazing vacations and just to give us that little bit of a financial buffer zone. So what I would do is I would create my WordPress site, easy enough, that's all done and dusted. I would pick my domain, easy enough, but I would agonise over it for quite a while. And then I'd get to the point where I'd have to set it up. So I'd have to choose, like, say, my colour scheme for my brand. I'd have to have a think about the logo, what I was going to call the blog, and how I would lay out the logo. And I'm not kidding, I would spend a month just faffing around creating logos. And I'd use various tools to do it. I'd create like vector graphics. So if you don't know what a vector graphic is, it's kind of like a JPEG where you'd get your normal logo. But a vector graphic is one that can be scaled up and it doesn't distort. So if you get a JPEG file, like a normal photo, and you keep increasing the size, eventually you just end up with pixels, big square blocks. It basically cannot scale a JPEG any bigger than a certain size. Whereas a vector graphic is one that can kind of be scaled infinitely. So if you were creating, this isn't really that relevant, but if you were creating, say, if you were creating some graphics that's going to go on a billboard poster that'd be out on the street, you'd create it in a vector graphic and it could be a tiny logo on a website or it could be a billboard sized logo and you would still use that one file and it basically can scale. So there's various different ways that I've learned to create logos and I do enjoy that kind of thing as well. I do enjoy doing a little bit of design. I'm no graphics designer, not by a long shot, but it is something that I like to do. I will admit I get slightly obsessive and like I say, I can spend weeks, if not months, just faffing around with things like logos. So I'm going to tell you what I've learned recently, which has increased my productivity hugely. So the number one thing I've learned recently, the thing that has increased my productivity is logos do not matter as much as you think. If you're just starting off with a blog or a YouTube channel and you want to get your branding right, don't worry about your logo too much. If you have a look at mine, it's literally my name. So I wrote John in normal weighted and then I wrote Davis in bold. That is it. That is my logo. Part of that is because I've took the decision to self-brand. I want to be kind of known as myself. It's my way of kind of being upfront and open and my friends and people around me knowing that I'm actually trying to do something. I'm sick of hiding behind blogs anonymously and no one really knowing who I am with either a fake picture or not, or an illustration and then not actually using my name. So for what I want to achieve now is for me to become a better digital marketer, I'm self-branding, so I'm using my name. So my logo is literally my name. Keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So that's my personal point of view. If you were a startup company, say like a craft beer company, then I can understand that I would pay a top graphics designer to come in and create really good consistent branding and logos and stuff. But I'm not. I'm writing a blog and I'm creating a YouTube channel, so I can bootstrap and do this bit myself. And in 2 seconds I'll show you the best place to do it that's quick and it's free. Like I say, when you're first starting up, your priority shouldn't be your logo. I am so guilty of this. Like I say, I've spent ages and ages to creating logos. Don't do what I did. Just create something simple, put it up there, and then produce your content. What you might find is over the first couple of months, if you're consistently blogging, say a couple of blog posts a week at minimum, or you're creating YouTube content, you're going to find your own voice. I know that sounds slightly strange, but you might have all intentions of going out there and writing a blog on motherhood. But you might find that as you're producing your content and your content inspiration, you might find that you start leaning toward one certain aspect of that, and that could make a difference with how you want to then set your blog up. Think of it as just an evolving process. Whatever you create at the start doesn't have to be how it always is. So especially if you've never blogged before, just get something up there, use your name if necessary, just use some simple font logo, keep it simple, and then just see how your site evolves, just see where it takes you and what your voice and what you become known as, and then maybe look at redoing it then. There's nothing wrong with rebranding, especially if you're using your own name. It's not going to make a massive difference, because if I change the direction of my blog now, I'm still John Davis. It might just be that I'm John Davis and I focus a little bit more on the affiliate marketing side rather than general digital marketing and how anyone else can kind of grow their business with using online technologies and tools. So we're going to jump into the laptop now, and I'm going to show you the quickest way to create a logo. If you stay tuned to the end, I will also tell you the one tip that I've seen lots of people trip themselves up with and then kick themselves afterwards, because they end up with a logo that they're stuck with and they can only use it in a certain way. So it's a very, very simple fix, a very simple tip. Well, stay tuned to the end and I'll tell you that too. So let's jump into the laptop, eh? Okay guys, so you may have guessed this already, because this is one of my favourite tools out there, but to create a logo the quickest way possible, we're going to use Canva. Now, anyone that's setting themselves up with a blog, you are going to use this tool. There's no two ways about it. Canva's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I use it for all sorts. I use it for my YouTube thumbnails, for my blog posts, basically any kind of quick graphics that I want to create, I use Canva. You can go into more depth with other tools, but this is such a kind of one-size-fits-all approach, and it's brilliant. So go to canva.com, and there's various different kind of built-in templates that we can use. So you can see there, Instagram post, Facebook post. It's already got kind of predefined templates with different pixels. So a pixel is basically like the size of the image and what kind of resolution that image would be. So on here, if we just type logo, it'll give us a 500 by 500 logo. And then you see on the left hand side, we've got various templates there. So if we scroll down, so the quickest way of creating a logo is just to click on one of these and then edit it. Like I say, I don't want you to spend kind of too long going over and over what logo to use. Just keep it really simple. I'd think more about the fonts than I would the imaging. So let's use that one. So it's very simple. You can create your own, by the way. There's not much to it. So if you see, let's just have a look. If we go to text and then add a subheading, and I'll just type Holly's in, drag it out of the way. So if we click on this drop down box here, you see how many different fonts there are. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of fonts. I mean, it just keeps going on. That's just still on A. So there's loads of different fonts, so you can literally just go through and, well, find one that you like, and then you can just resize it using that. If we want to angle it, to see the little two arrows pointing in either direction, we can kind of click on that and drag it. I mean, that's just a quick example. I'm not saying it's anything like what they've achieved there. It's nowhere near. It's completely the wrong font, but like I say, see how easy it is to kind of change it yourself. So you could start with a blank template and just do that yourself. You don't have to use theirs. Theirs are there just as a starting point, really, and something to inspire you. So that is literally it. You can go in there, change your name. You can get rid of that bit if you don't want it. There are little elements that you can use, so I'll show you one of the elements I like. I like this little line. So you can resize it. It's a really simple little graphics kind of tool. So there you go. And I would just use that as my logo. And then when you download it, you've got JPEG and PNG. I would always recommend PNG because it's slightly better quality, and it means that if you then expand that, so in fact let me show you. So we'll download that as a PNG and we'll download that as a JPEG. So I don't know if you can how well that comes across as I'm doing like a screen share, but I've scrolled in probably the same distance on both, and you can see all these ghosting marks kind of around the JPEG. So there's lots of like little marks and what have you, whereas the PNG is a lot cleaner. So it's just a higher resolution. It just means you can kind of expand that depending on what you're going to use your logo on. At that level, it doesn't really look that noticeable, does it? But depending on what you're going to use that logo on, you've just got a crisper image. So always use PNG. When you're uploading that to your website, you may want to optimize it slightly and shrink the size down so it's not a massive file on your website. It might slow your web page down. And like I say, if we just change that back to logo, these are just beauty logos. If you go into logo, there's loads. Computer logos, food, drink, education, sports, restaurant. Let's have a look at the restaurant ones. But you can see that a lot of them are just pretty simple, and that's what I would recommend. Just keep it simple for now. Find your voice, and then you can kind of change it from there. Now guys, I did say I would give you one tip that I've seen really annoy people in the past. So when you're using Canva, it's really simple to use, it's really nice and effective, and there's loads of templates that you can use in there as well. But there might be the occasion that you go back into it, say months down the line, and you can't find that template, you can't remember what the font was. So I would probably create a file when you're creating your branding, create a little file, put it in Google Docs or something, and any fonts that you use, any color schemes that you use, each color will have like a hex value, which is that unique kind of shade of that color. I would write them all down, keep like a branding file so you can always refer to it. Whatever your main color scheme is, you might have say 4 or 5 set colors. You might have a certain font that you use for headings, a certain font that you use for text, for paragraphs, and just write them down so you can always refer to something. But that's one tip. I'll actually give you another tip as well, is I would always recommend that you get a transparent version of your logo. Get 2 transparent versions. Get a dark one and a light one, so that no matter what the underlying surface is, that you've always got an option. So I'll show you now what I mean. Okay, so we've just gone back to Canva. Now we've already downloaded this file. Now let's just say, let's create another, let's have a look. So we're going to create a Facebook post, and we will choose, let's say we'll just use this template here. So I want to add my logo in at the top of that, so we'll just move the text. I think I'm going to add my logo in. So we're going to go to uploads, upload an image, and let's find the ones we just downloaded. So this is where we've got a slight issue, because we've just downloaded them. That really doesn't work. We've got this big yellow background. That's absolutely no use to us whatsoever. So let's go back to this and we think, okay, let's delete. So I highlight the background, press delete, and I'm going to download that as a PNG. Go back to our Facebook post, get rid of that one, and I'm going to upload. There it is. So I've deleted that yellow background, I'm going to upload that. Well that still doesn't work. Now I've got a white background. So how do I get my logo to appear on any background? So the key is having a transparent background. Now herein lies the catch. So Canva give you an absolutely superb tool. It's a great website. I use it all the time. But the catch is, if you want to download and we want a PNG, look, tick box there, transparent background, download. See that? That's what we want. We want a transparent background, and it's got this little crown next to it, which means you need the premium version. So if you're just creating it, you can always use that 30-day trial, use it for free. But it's basically one of their premium features that you have to upgrade for. Now I haven't upgraded yet, but I am going to, because I'm finding that the more content I'm creating for YouTube, I'm creating like thumbnails all the time. Now, I have different applications that I can use to create my thumbnails, but sometimes I just need to be quick. I'm trying to do 100 videos in 100 days. I don't have time to kind of spend ages doing like using proper graphics packages and creating them. Sometimes I just go in and I just want to do quick and easy and effective. The key, if you think about this image here, the key to being able to put your logo on anything you produce, that could be a flyer, it could be a poster, it could be some ebooks that you're giving away or some downloadables on your blog that you're giving away to subscribers. You're going to want to be able to put your logo on any of that. So really you need a transparent version and a light version and a dark version. So these are 2 that I've created elsewhere. So there you can see we've got that transparent background and it fits in nicely. It doesn't necessarily work for that post, but you get what I'm trying to say. You can put it onto any background. So it could be that you created a poster, downloadables for your blog to get new subscribers, like ebooks or cheat sheets. And you could have all various different backgrounds, and you could have dark backgrounds, light backgrounds. So it's nice to have that alternative to have a light version and a dark version. What I'll do in the next video, I'll show you another free tool. It's a little bit more complicated than Canva, but I'll show you another free tool that I use to basically just create these little vector graphics. So that's what it's called. That's a vector graphic with a transparent background. I'll show you how to create one of these transparent backgrounds. So guys, that's how you very, very quickly create a logo, and I've just shown you the only downside of that, unless you're going to use like a white background for everything, the only downside is you want that transparent background. So if you want to just use the easiest possible tool I've found in Canva, pay for the premium version. It's not a ridiculous amount anyway, and you will get your money's worth. You'll be in and out of that application all the time if you're creating a blog or YouTube channel. It's really, really useful. There's lots of options on there. There's lots of stock photography, different fonts. It's probably the easiest package I've seen for like graphics design. In the next video, if you don't want to pay for Canva, in the next video I'll show you some free software that you can use to create a vector image, which is what we said before, can be scaled up, scaled down, it's not going to lose that quality. I'll show you how to create a basic font logo that you can then export with a transparent background. So coming up in the next video, I'll show you how to do that using a different program.